Welcome to your astrological natal chart forecast report. This is the piece, and I hope you gain the utmost of quality from this report. I'm very overjoyed to see you represent the Sagittarius clan and are also born 91. Welcome to Goat Squad. Yes, this is once again the Peace Dealer, and we are going to be uncovering the high-level magical nature of your chart, especially as a Pisces rising, which now exalts your awareness of self in the 10th house, meaning that you are here and it is your legacy to shine. I'm going to pause for dramatic effect. So, being a 10th house sun is the burden of being a public figure. Whether you consider yourself introverted or extroverted, this is definitely really going to open up the aspect of yourself that is constantly put in the public light, dealing with authority figures, becoming an authority figure yourself in this lifetime, and which is the legacy of what you're meant to do. Show the fullness of your spirit, soul, mind, and desire to the world, because you're going to change the way the world sees magic. And that is purposefully said in a vague enough way to apply to literally infinite applications. Whether you create a YouTube channel and you show people actual magic that changes the way people see how casually it could be done, or whether you create calculators and people don't know that those calculators are imbued with special cause effect magical experiences based on what they calculate and what happens in their real life, changing the way people see magic with real physical material. Or you can be a school teacher and you may never talk about magic once in your life, and you could teach about Czechoslovakian history in 3rd grade. And the way you teach that class is going to show people a different perspective about how they see the world, and given that anything and everything is magic, how they see magic. So the limitless applications, the applications are limitless. And this goes into the infusion of yourself being of yourself being the divine creator goddess, or a divine creator goddess, or rather a creator goddess expressed forth divinely, because the god goddess axis of the zodiac is Sag, Cap, Aqua, and Pisces. So your sun, your spirit and soul are that of the creator, and as a woman and feminine archetype, creator goddess. Honestly, man, woman, goddess, god, let's take that out the equation. You are a creator, and with this god consciousness, this is what allows you the ability to take your awareness and receptivity to the meaning of experiences and create based on the source of infinite source energy or love that you can create with through joy. If love is the signature for Leo, or courage, then joy is the signature for Sagittarius. But when we look at your identity, okay, that's your AC. Who you are is all the planets, right? But when we look at your so you are the combination of all these points, even the blank points here. See this empty 3rd house? This is all you too. Okay, because this all makes an angle to other parts that you're directly focused in. So even though you are the sum total of all these points, if we're going to see your title and your identity, all right, what's that called? Well, we see your AC is in Pisces, and Pisces is the genie, or the divine being. And so as a creator, you are a divine being, okay? This is seeing that your sun, moon, and rising are immutable magical signs. You're a master magician. You being that your identity is tied to an ever-present state of existence, you're more of an entity. Never mind your identity. You are actually a magical experience in a vessel, which is important because this is not the same as being a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs are focused in character. By now, you've progressed into Capricorn and you progressed into Aries rising. And so, this essence of yourself as a magical being is now manifesting into a concrete character. But unlike cardinal signs that focus the fullness of their being in an action describing or pretty much defining their character, mutable signs are really experienced. So if you notice, mutable signs get diagnosed all sorts of mental illnesses around multiple personality disorder, personality disorders, bipolarism, or bipolar disorder, when these aren't disorders. This is actually the natural state of mutable beings that have not progressed into cardinal, because you, especially as a Sagittarius, you are everything. You're not just you. And it's this Western psychological empiricist view on psychology and science that deludes people into thinking that they're one person when inherently we're multidimensional. And it's the cardinal nature that allows us character to choose which facet of ourselves we act off on, instead of erroneously seeing the sum total of our beings as just one being. We are not just one being because there's not just one dimensional state of existence. And it's someone like you with the ability to see in Sagittarius that can see the world for what it means, okay? Not what it is, because what it is Gemini. How it is Virgo. What it means is Sag, and why is Pisces. So your energy manifests and answers what it means while you are the reason. Pisces is always the reason. Virgo is always the how. And it's cool to see Jupiter in Virgo here, which is a gift in 91, because this now fleshes out your analytical ability to manifest this directly with other people. For reals. But I don't want to sugarcoat this. You're a magic master. You're a magician. You're an alchemist, technically, because alchemy is all about perfection. And so Virgo and Sagittarius are very linked to alchemy because Virgo is perfection. And Sagittarius's 10th house is Virgo. So the aim of Sagittarian magic is to exalt perfection, thus creating from the ethers out of nothing into reality. As opposed to the opposite Gemini, okay, where we think and thoughts ultimately become aspects of our imagination. If you think about an imagination, it's the sum total of Gemini thoughts that go into an imagination. Okay, this is that opposition between Gemini and Sagittarius. Whereas Sagittarius's foundation is imagination, and Gemini's foundation of thoughts is real facts. So that the imagination that they're creating is based, 4th house Virgo, on real facts. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but in the term of this manifestation, that's how Geminis work their magic. Boom. Sagittarius already is a master level of magic because you're coming out of the real into the spiritual. If you think about the visual receptivity of light, which now lights up our inner world and stimulates our imagination, which now leads into the thoughts that we speak out into reality, and vice versa. Welcome to Mutable Magic 101. So I just kind of want to illustrate the importance of you being this fire. You are living fire. You are the fire that breathes life into people. Sorry, and situations and things. That's one of your powers, by the way. You can take an inanimate object. Let's say I created an inanimate hamster. I promise you, on Thor and Odin, you can take your Sagittarius energy and infuse it with the life magic of your magic Sagittarius fire and bring that hamster to life. This is not to be confused with resurrection. So we're not talking about the hamster dying and you bringing it back to life. This is just more life infusion, okay? And that's a very extreme example. And as soon as Jupiter goes over your rising, if you haven't awakened this ability yet, your Saturn return is going to bring it. And this is why this is a huge deal, because you're not just Sagittarius. You are born on a new moon. And so you're giving you are a gift to the world. And I'm going to say this again. Because of you. Because like MC is the legacy. Every single individual in this world has a legacy to fulfill, whether they know it or not. Consciously, it gets fulfilled, or consciously, you take power over it. And it doesn't have to be good or bad. It simply just is. Usually, people manifest the negative and positive because life is negative and positive, yin and yang. And so, because of you, the world will change the way it sees into meaning. What exactly? Well, we know that the ruler of your 10th house is in the 7th, falling in the 6th in Virgo. So you're going to change the way the world sees magic as pertaining to the real factual data that goes into evolving human interaction with other people. It's a fancy way of saying directly really manifesting magic with other people. And it's in your relationships with others that with the new moon Aries signature, you spark new cycles in people's life that speak on being able to show them magic. And also, more realistically, which is magic, realistically, like magic is real, that's Virgo, but really show them the full potential of what it is they can reach. Shout out to Nasiha. She has her sun in the 4th as a Virgo rising. So whereas you're able to see the highest aspect of an individual, her 4th house sun can see the private nature of people. Like someone could be wearing a suit and she can see what that person is like behind closed doors, lounging in their couch, eating donuts, despite the professional image they put. You can see someone just chilling in their couch and you can see the highest professional, nature of them. It doesn't have to be professional, but like really stepping into their highest self. Bam! You can see other people's higher selves. And you can see this function through the character, because an individual is never separated from their higher self. They're either just conscious of it or not. So not only can you see this, you can help bridge this aspect by you acknowledging it. It now helps the other person tap into it, which once again is another reason why you're a huge deal. So let me show you how magical you are, okay? You don't know what I'm going through in my life unless you do, because you are a creator goddess, and maybe I don't know your abilities. But it's not a coincidence that when I'm doing this reading for you, I am initiating a brand new cycle. I've cut certain things off and I'm getting ready to embark on a new adventure in my life. This is the gift that you give to people. You're a literal omen. Whenever anyone comes across your path, it means new light is dawning in their life. And you have the power, you have the magic ability of Mars in Sag with the assertive presence of Mercury, which Mars is assertive really, but the ability of Mercury and the assertive presence of Mars, which are both interchangeable, funny enough, which allows you to process mentally the bigger picture, abstract meaning of an experience and act off on it, which doesn't abstract the fire action like it would if it's in Pisces, but it gives you a bigger picture mindset that helps you think long term because you see the bigger picture as it pertains to the world. And thankfully, the sextile to Saturn and Aquarius can stabilize this mentally so that you're in a position to really imbue a lot of what you're witnessing with relevant knowledge that once this returns in Aquarius, you'll be able to harness like a digital library, which is important because as a Pisces rising, Aquarius is your 12th house. So this falling in the 11th is going to speak of releasing very nebulous, deceptive, and also rigid influences concerning pseudoscientific knowledge that's espoused in your collective and belonging. We say that because the 12th house is of release, but it also can represent limitations into really stepping into your spiritual path because of just pseudoscientific knowledge that you've learned since birth. That this return, the fake science that you've learned, that since once you step into this return 2021, will return your power and now change the nature of how you take what you've always known and then apply it. Because this is also indicative of someone who had your own, like you have your own specialized knowledge that won't make sense to other people who don't think like you, which is 99.99% of the world population. So this is so legendarily rare that the way you deduce information is not the most linear and will not match and align with traditional postmodern conventions in science and psychology, and will just kind of outright seem delusional, when in reality, you're actually divine and genius. And what goes about this seemingly roundabout way of how you harness this knowledge is because your awareness grants you the ability to perceive phenomena above the third dimension. And so everything based on third dimensional awareness of the observable universe that we discern information in science. And then that's not to say that there isn't science that supersedes this. We're just talking about the main bullshit we've been taught. This is going to make it seem like a lot of this, faceted mode of which you're aware of is nonsensical. Because, of course, to a third dimensional being, anything higher will not compute. When you're actually making the best of your awareness to make obsolete this theoretical jargon that has been force-fed down our throats since, the establishment of this nation, and other such civilizations. But other than that, this is also going to establish the authority of this divine sense of knowledge that you gain based on Pisces rising. Because one gift of the Pisces rising is that you can know without knowing. It's called claircognizance, and you're gifted with that. It's even doper because we see that your Venus is mastered. So the reason why I am a master is because my identity, AC, is next to my Mercury, which is 29 degrees. And this is why y'all respect and acknowledge me as a master communicator, because my Mercury of communication is mastered. Your Venus of beauty is mastered in Libra, where it rules. And so you have a mastery of social grace and activity that allows you to maneuver through interpersonal relationships with others with pure finesse and mastered charm, to say just the right thing in just the right way and balance just the right experiences, that seeing it in your 8th house makes this even more dangerous because of the disarming quality of your Pisces rising that in an instant is going to match and blend energies with the person you're around. This is perhaps the dopest thing about Pisces rising. You don't have an identity of your own. You're fleshing that into Aries rising. And the reason why you don't is because you purposefully sacrifice that. It's opposite of Virgo. So you're releasing that ego need so that when you stand space with anybody, your aura matches certain properties of their aura. This is why they say Pisces is like every sign. That's kind of true, but it does have understanding of every other sign. And so kind of like a Mortal Kombat character, Shang Tsung or something like that, you can match the energetic state of anyone you're around. And then with the Sagittarius sun, show them their highest light and what their highest self looks like. And I want to use the example of Jamie Foxx. Whether he's a Pisces rising or not, he's a phenomenal, amazing actor. And there's a reason why he's able to act like people as if they're them. Shape-shifting is a natural property of mutable sign energy, especially Sagittarius and especially Pisces. Sagittarius has the ability to look at you, see what you mean, and imitate it, mimic it, copy it, actually be it better than you. Because anything you can do, Sagittarius can do better. And trust me, as a Gemini, I reluctantly admit that. Because with Gemini and Sag have our own competition. But you got at some point you gotta give credit to where credit's due. It is what it is. And this is where now, as a solar representative, like right, your MC's right next to the galactic center, you hold space and council in the Galactic Federation. Without getting too much into that, though, we do see that your destiny. Isn't that crazy? Like, I just say some crazy shit and then just like, let's not pay attention to that though. But I don't want to say too much about that before you get into your Saturn return because I don't want to get in trouble by the galactic codes. But other than that, the North Node on Neptune and Uranus is not only making you destined for greatness. I want to do a documentary on this one aspect because y'all have some of the most supernatural destiny paths of all time. I'm going to say that again. Y'all have one of the most supernatural destiny paths of all time. And the greatest, too. Like, literally. Because it's in the Capricorn of the greatest. So, out of all the other signs, this is the more incredible one. You are our twins. Give or take. 90 and 91 are destiny twins. So, like, I have my North Node in Aquarius, where your Saturn is. Then I have my Saturn in Cap, where your North Node is. It's like a baton pass. So, like, we fleshed in the grounding and structure for superpowers and extra dimensional rhetoric about anything cosmic and outside of this reality to be made flesh and actually talked about and seen for real and taken seriously so that y'all can take it to the next level. And then also instill this knowledge collectively worldwide. So it's very pivotal and key here because 90 and 91 work closely together, whether they're conscious of it or not. It doesn't have to be direct because the work that 90 does will lead into 91 and fulfill each other's destiny path, which is just incredible. If we also take into account Uranus and Neptune's influence on your North Node, this is what's made, and I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. It's literally your destiny to manifest superpowers. That's literally it. You're manifesting it, and then boom, you're creating books. Like Saturn in Aquarius is a library, and so once these powers are manifested, someone is going to have to write about this, and that's your whole generation is going to create new knowledge. And it's not so much that you're just going to awaken it out of nowhere. You're going to express to the world 30 years worth of your experiences moving forward into making this a actual science. So it's not fair to say you're going to manifest superpowers because that's what we're all doing. But you're manifesting superpowers. I'm just be real. And it's not even so much that you're doing that. Neptune and Uranus is the causal realm and the astral realm. Neptune astral, Uranus causal. Uranus mental, dream world, astral realm, Neptune. So your manipulation and control of these aspects is aligned with your destiny to transcend and innovate the system. And because of y'all are going to transcend and innovate the system. And that has everything to do with manifesting goddamn motherfucking superpowers. And I mean supernatural ability. So seeing that Jupiter trines this allows you to analyze this minute change in the body language and the also psychic intuitive nature of people's bodies being moved by this to see and pinpoint this and analyze this real time. Your Sagittarius energy allows you to actually see into this and not with your physical senses, but with your third eye mind, hence looking into the meaning. So when we do see that Pluto now is 21 degrees in the ninth, you teach people in a very indirect way the occult. And the mystery school of this is everything you don't say, everything you don't do. There's wisdom in that unless someone is adept, it will go over their head or under their nose rather, because Aquarius goes over your head, Scorpio is under your radar. And so Pluto means that you're going to transform a lot of the world around you with this very deep, wise sense of your philosophy. So I hope you enjoyed this report. Chiron opposite your Saturn is going to restore how much more courageous you can express creativity and integrate that with your lifestyle without letting unconscious insecurities or inhibitions stop you from really sharing your heart. And, thank you so much for the grand service that you're getting ready to really accomplish, especially now you've progressed onto your Capricorn energy and destiny. And, I hope you enjoy your return because just by doing this energy exchange for you, I know that a new chapter of light is going to bless me. And that has everything to do with you blessing me with, investing in me. So all power to you. And until next time, peace.